Welcome back to Ryan Jacobson Weather. Hope your Thursday's off to a great start. Let's hop right back into the forecast for today. And as you can see, we still have that very active weather occurring across the U.S. Yesterday, we did experience that high risk day for severe weather, and that definitely, unfortunately, came to fruition as we saw over a couple dozen tornadoes yesterday. Obviously, it's still preliminary reports as the storm survey teams will be out there today. But we saw many tornadoes yesterday. If you go back to my live stream that I had last night, you can see a major tornado. We were able to get live coverage on it and some pretty crazy imagery on it. And that's probably going to be an EF3 and even maybe an EF4 tornado, just a crazy wedge tornado. So definitely be sure to check that out. But again, a lot of portions, a lot of areas across Missouri and Arkansas, going to Tennessee and Kentucky, and even up into Illinois and Indiana, unfortunately saw very severe weather. Unfortunately, this is going to continue today as we have another 10% hatched risk for tornadoes going into the afternoon and evening tonight. So this is the day one outlook, and as you can see, we do have an enhanced risk for severe weather across portions of eastern Texas going back into Tennessee, and this is fueled by a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes. And to be honest with you, I think today's setup looks just as concerning as yesterday's. I know we have only an enhanced risk compared to a high risk for severe weather. But the tornado ingredients are going to be just as good, if not even a little bit more favorable today for tornadoes. And there's definitely going to be portions of southern Arkansas that need to be weather aware today, as I think some major strong tornadoes are again definitely possible going into the evening and overnight hours today. You see, we also have that 15% wind risk. We also have a 30% hatched risk for severe hail as well. And this includes more of Texas, going obviously then back into Tennessee and Arkansas as well. Let me show you the day two outlook because the severe weather train is not going to be stopping anytime soon. We already do have an enhanced risk for tomorrow, and this includes a lot of the same areas. We have basically a stalled out frontal boundary, and these are just going to refire up day after day here, which is going to lead to heavy rain. And again, that severe potential is just going to continue over the next couple of days, unfortunately. You can see the tornado risk for tomorrow, another 10% hatched risk for tornadoes over a lot of the same areas. If you live in Arkansas, anywhere in Arkansas these next couple of days, you need to be weather aware, as obviously we saw major tornadoes yesterday in the state of Arkansas, and I believe there's going to be more major tornadoes to come over the next couple of days. We have that 15% wind risk and then another hatched hail risk. This is 15%, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gets enhanced going into tomorrow. And then going into day three outlook, you can already see we have another enhanced risk for severe weather. This also includes portions of Arkansas going into Texas and Louisiana into Mississippi. Again, another very similar place, as you could say some of these areas are going to be experiencing 4 straight days of severe weather. Again, 30% hatched risk for severe weather. This eventually will probably become at least a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes. This will be going into Saturday here. And again, another major severe weather outbreak is definitely on the table. And then you go to your day 4 outlook. And as you can see, we already have a slight risk of severe weather. It looks like the frontal boundary is finally going to start going again here on Saturday. So it looks like the major severe weather looks to be over on Saturday, but there could still be some lingering severe weather, maybe even a couple of spin-up tornadoes going into Sunday. Again, portions further east here. This includes going into Alabama, Georgia, and then obviously the panhandle of Florida. So you're going to want to be weather aware, as there could be some severe weather lingering into Sunday, but it's going to be a very active next couple of days for severe weather ahead of us. So this is the current setup right now, and as you can see, we have this line of storms kind of stalled out here. I'll play this forward for you. This is going to the afternoon here. Again, these storms are not really going to be moving much, and the severe weather threat here is going to be in southern Arkansas going into southern Tennessee here. Kind of this corridor right in here is where I think there could be a couple of strong tornadoes. This is going to this afternoon here, and you can see these storms start to fire off here, and these are going to be discrete supercells and very favorable tornado parameter conditions here. And these are going to continue here. This is going into the overnight hours, and it looks like that threat will wind down around midnight tonight. But let me go back for you guys. Starting up around, let's see here. It looks like conditions are really going to get favorable here, starting up, around 3 to 4 o'clock. So 3 to 4 o'clock, again, around till midnight. So get another 8 or so hours of severe weather is going to be possible. Again, it's very favorable conditions for these storms. And it's a small area for severe weather, but you see all these discrete storms in here right along this frontal boundary here. Right when they fire off, they're going to have a very great potential of unfortunately producing a tornado. Let me show you the SIGTOR real quick here. Let me change this map over. So this is the SIGTOR currently what we're seeing right now. Let me play this for you guys. So this is what we're currently seeing. So again, there still could be some tornadoes going into this morning hours here. Again, not as high of a risk though, but this is going to the afternoon here. And watch these values really start to take off here. We have values up to a 7. I think I saw some even up to an 8 here. So again, 10. Look at that value of a 10 there. So very, very high tornado values. Again, this kind of peaks from around 3 o'clock here, around 3 o'clock to midnight. Again, very small area, but right wherever those storms fire off, right around those frontal boundary, they're going to have a short time, but again, very favorable conditions to turn into a tornado. Once they get north of that frontal boundary, then they're going to quickly die off. But right when they fire off, it's going to have that greatest potential to throw down a tornado with these storms. And then this is going to tomorrow here. You can kind of see it dies off. And then tomorrow, similar sign. You got these just explosion of SIGTOR, more than enough tornado juice to cause some significant tornadoes. So again, this does not look great by any stretch of the imagination, as well as this is just a fortunate scene setting up here across portions of Arkansas, going to Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee, as well as eastern Texas here, as just a long duration of severe weather is expected. And unfortunately, yesterday was really just the starter day, as I think another 3 days of severe weather is upon us. Let me show you that total rainfall real quick here. Give me a second. So this is so we obviously have that severe weather with these storms here. But look at this. The rain associated with these is going to build. We saw, a couple areas seeing multiple inches of rain just yesterday. And with these different rounds of thunderstorms going through here, we're going to see some heavy rainfall from these thunderstorms, which could obviously lead to flooding here. So this is just through Saturday. We're going to see more rain going into Saturday afternoon and evening as well. But just through, tomorrow night, we could see totals picking up maybe 9 inches of rain. A nice swath here, a couple swaths of at least, 4 to 6, 7 inches here. So obviously be aware of the severe threat, but obviously be aware as well as that tornado threat and also that flooding threat, as obviously flooding is on the table as well. So this is the current setup right now. You can obviously see these storms are kind of stalled out right now across the central U.S. This is where severe weather is going to be today. If you're anywhere in southern Arkansas, into southern Tennessee, in northern Mississippi, you need to be weather aware today. I really do believe there's going to be a couple of strong tornadoes today. And with these discrete cells and very, very favorable environments, you just have to be weather aware. So anywhere in southern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, southern Tennessee, gotta be weather aware. This is going to this afternoon here. These kind of storms kind of die off, and then going tomorrow afternoon, similar story. Fires off again. The threat's just going to be just as strong as today going into tomorrow. And then you can see going into Saturday here, you're going to have that threat continue here. Portions a little bit maybe further south, going to Louisiana and even going into eastern Texas. Again, that severe threat is going to be there. Finally, this front starts to get moving here. It's just going to be basically stationary over the next couple of days. It gets moving going into Sunday here. Again, could see some more severe storms going into Sunday along portions of the south, going to the deep south. I don't think that severe threat is as high going into Sunday, but we will see as we get closer to Sunday. And then it looks like our severe weather is going to be over Maybe we can see a couple of flare-up stronger storms here going into Monday across portions of Florida, but take that with a grain of salt. And then cooler air, though, that's what's definitely going to be occurring here. Is once this storm gets out of the way, we're going to see some cooler air, and that's basically what's going to push this frontal boundary out of the way here. Strong, cooler polar vortex air mass here coming down from Canada. It's not going to be super cold, but it's definitely going to be a shot of cold air, especially for April. We're going to see snow showers here across New York going to Pennsylvania into the New England region, and some of that could be some stronger snow squalls again. I think there will be some accumulations, but they're going to be short-lived as we are in April, and snow does not stick around long when you get into the springtime. But again, I think a couple inches of snow will be possible, and then after this, things are unknown as this is already going into next Friday here. I think we probably will be going back into that more severe weather pattern once this big, cold air mass moves out. I thank you guys all for stopping by. Can you just keep checking back on the weather each and every day? As if you live anywhere in those areas I just outlined, can you just keep checking back for daily updates? As I fortunately believe there's a very large tornado risk and severe flooding risk with these storms over these next couple of days. Again, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the video tomorrow.